I am a servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Anor. You cannot pass. The dark fire will not avail you, flame of Udun. Go back to the shadow. You cannot pass.
That is, by far, one of my favorite quotes from the Fellowship of the Ring book, even though the book is incredibly boring. That's right, I said it. Still love the movies, though. And this is, of course, Gandalf the White, more specifically from Return of the King. I got this from these guys' bricks. Every time I try to say the name, it just comes out stupid, so that's who I got it from. However, I also bought the last one that they had in stock. I got this in part because I wanted to dive a little bit more into the higher end minifigures, and this seemed like a reasonable place to start, somewhere that wasn't overly expensive, but still somewhere that is clearly better and nicer than your average custom. This thing looks wonderful and has some pretty insane details on it. While a good portion of this minifigure is hand-painted, there is some printing as well, including on the torso here with this really nice design pattern. I actually had to go back and look to see how accurate this was, and it's pretty similar to what we see on the character's design from the film, though most of the time it's actually covered by the robe. That said, I do like the little bit of the 3D element to the belt here. It's not just printed on, it's an extra element that has that added depth and looks really nice. And because of it, it allows there to be a clear distinction between the torso and the legs here, so there is more of the robe and the cloth, which looks nice. And then, of course, the legs themselves are actually printed. This is one of the more notable areas for that, and while the design itself isn't anything too special, it is done very well. I'm going to be completely honest in that I have no idea if it is pad or UV printed. I don't really want to make a guess either because I'm not entirely certain, but either way, it's not really the focus of this minifigure. Instead, we're looking more at like the custom-made cloth that is literally right above it. And this is probably going to be a really weird thing to say because this is incredibly well made, but it's also very boring. Okay, I don't know how they made this. Maybe it's incredibly easy to make. If you do know, let me know in the comments down below. But there's no, like, distinction here. There's nothing really special going on here. It looks good, but it's very plain. Even though the robe is posed to make it kind of look like he's in an action scene or something, I do like that, and you can see just a little more printing on the sides there. Now, like I said, the robe is posed. It is not flexible at all. It is stuck exactly like it is. But this also gives a very good view of the cross-stitch pattern that is included, and I do like how there is a distinction between it and the hood. On the fronts of this minifigure, we have the big white beard of Gandalf. This is very clearly hand-painted as well. Again, not meaning that in a bad way, just wanting to point out that there were actual man-hours put into making this minifigure. Though also I really love this beard because it could be used for a Santa Claus quite easily. The face is a little interesting. I'm not too sure what to make of it. I feel like these squinting eyes is a little strange for this. I know it's like supposed to be like he's fighting or something, but I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as you saw in the opening, this does include 2 items, one of which is his sword. This is a pretty simple sword. It looks fantastic, and I'm glad that it's included, even if it is a little simple. Now, the other item that was included is, of course, Gandalf's staff, and this one I don't like as much. I mean, it looks like the staff. Obviously, some care went into making it look like it, but I also kind of feel like this is a cheap imitation of the staff. I mean, honestly, it looks better in these shots than it does in real life, so maybe that one's just me. But don't get me wrong, that doesn't take away from this minifigure at all. This is a fantastic rendition of Gandalf and one that I am extremely happy to have. So do me a favor, let me know what your favorite moments from Lord of the Rings are in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video if you like Lord of the Rings and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.